Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. This bulletin is coming to you live from our studios here at Kokomlemle in Accra on digital address GA0993341 on Joy 99.7 FM is also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, affiliates across the country on ABN Radio in London and around the world at myjoyonline.com. The news is brought to you by UMB Bank, UMB Speed Up, Digibank, Let's Go, Telesol 4G, proudly Ghanaian, Telesol, Just a Touch, and Mark Auto Parts Ghana, distributors of Isuzu and Chevy cars. Mark Auto Parts Ghana with you for the long run. Coming up, some farmers in the country take on government for what they describe as its failed policies on agriculture as Finance Minister prepares to present budget statement this Thursday.
Fertilizer that was given to the farmers was delayed. The minister is so arrogant that he don't even have respect for we the farmers. All the FBOs are so quiet, they can't get close to the ministry, and now we the farmers have been rejected.
We'll hear from them and the minority which says the Ghanaian economy is in recession. Speaker of Parliament advocates reforms in the House that will see a departure in how the President's ministerial nominees are vetted.
If you are coming to be a foreign minister, the Foreign Affairs Committee will vet you. Specialized people who have made foreign affairs their career in this House.
We'll hear from him and on this as well as plans by the House to restrict one MP to one committee only. And Teacher and Educational Workers Union refuses to back down on decision to maintain all representatives on KNUST Governing Council. We'll get details as the Asante prepares to inaugurate the new council in sports.
It is match day for the Black Maidens and ahead of their FIFA Under-17 World Cup opener today, Coach Evans Adoti is eyeing a winning start against host Uruguay.
And later, how kindergarten pupils of a local school in the Ashanti region will not miss school because of this, their teacher's handshake.
It has really inspired them. They always want to come to school. They feel happy. They are not bored. Even some of them, when they come and they don't have money. Madam, today my money is missing. I can give them and we talk. I give them food. So they are always free to come.
We have all that and more here on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apau. And in our very first story, some farmers in the country have taken on government for what they describe as its failed policies on agriculture. The farmers, among others, say that the government has failed to address the problem of armyworm, which has devastated most of their crops and also delayed the provision of fertilizers. The accusations come as Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta prepares to present budget statement this Thursday. The farmers have been speaking at a pre-budget seminar in Parliament held by the minority today.
Fertilizer that was given to the farmers was delayed. And this fertilizer will expire this very month, 20th. And there was a bunch of fertilizers of this kind in the warehouses. So how can we live in a country that the minister is so arrogant that he don't even have respect for we the farmers? It's very sad. All the FBOs are so quiet, they can't get close to the ministry because Dr. Fria Koto is untouchable, that bad shit has been happening within the farming industry and everybody is quiet about it. 21 million Ghana cedi was given to Dr. Fria Koto to combat this armyworm. He lied to we the farmers that I have conquered armyworm. And later, he came to us telling us that the armyworm has come to stay. Please, a developing country like Ghana, how can we spend $21 million just on the fight of armyworm? We the farmers want accountability because the armyworm is still around. NPP came to power and now we the farmers have been rejected. They take decision on their own without consulting with the farmers.
You have a farmer there, but meanwhile, the minority in Parliament says the Ghanaian financial sector is in recession and is demanding action from government to stem the tide. At the same pre-budget meeting, minority spokesperson on finance, Kasiola Toforsen, says agriculture, construction and major sectors of the economy are seeing reduced growth. Joseph Opoku Gakpo joins us from that pre-budget seminar. Joseph, so what exactly are some of the issues that the minority is raising? It looks like we've lost Joseph Opoku Gakpo there on the phone. We'll get to raise him shortly. But we can listen to some of the issues that were raised at that pre-budget meeting.
Instead of the improved living condition promised, Ghanaians have been ushered into an era of unprecedented and excruciating hardships. The imposition of economic pain that the president was forced to admit are occurring even as we see outcomes from prospects such as 1, recovery in global demand, prices and growth, and 2, increase in crude oil and gas output and prices. At the very moment, the nation is seeing increased output from 10 and Sankofa petroleum fields.
You heard the Cassiel Atufosin. So government is also being warned of an imminent meltdown of the banking sector soon, unless it takes immediate steps to pay debt.
It's been an interesting year with some major upheavals in the financial services sector. So Budget 2019 is very important. It affects everyone. The 2018 budget said it would put Ghana back to work. What will the 2019 budget say? Should we expect it to make a big difference? How far will our money stretch? Budget 2019, the reality versus the numbers. It's your budget. Live on radio, TV, online, and social media on November 15 from 6 a.m. The hashtag is YourBudget2019.
My name is Kwame Sefakai, and most of you know me as a media personality, but I am also a family man. The UMB mobile banking app, UMB Speed App, saves me so much time by letting me do almost all of my banking transactions on my phone. The cardless withdrawal feature allows me to withdraw cash from any UMB ATM without an ATM card. I can also pay bills, transfer money, request for a loan, invest money, and so much more. So now, I can spend less time at the bank and more time with the ones I love. Bank anywhere and anytime with a UMB mobile banking app, UMB Speed App, and get the time to do what you love most. Download the UMB Speed App from your Android, iOS, or Windows phone today. Call 0302-633-988 for more information. UMB Speed App, Digibank, let's go!
Yes, so listening to the midday news here on Joy 99.7 FM. We apologize for the short break in transmission, but we'll start off once again and we'll hear from some farmers in the country who have taken on government for what they describe as its failed policies on agriculture. Amongst others, they say that the government has failed to address the problem of armyworm, which has devastated most of their crops and also delayed the provision of fertilizers.
Fertilizer that was given to the farmers was delayed, and this fertilizer was by this very man presidential. And there was a bunch of fertilizers of this kind in the warehouses. So how can we live in a country that the minister is so arrogant that he don't even have respect for we the farmers? It's very sad. All the FBOs are so quiet, they can't get close to the ministry because Dr. Fria Koto, who is untouchable, that bad shit has been happening within the farming industry and everybody is quiet about it. 21 million Ghana cedi was given to Dr. Fria Koto to combat this armyworm. He lied to we the farmers that I have conquered armyworm. And later, he came to us telling us that the armyworm has come to stay. Please, a developing country like Ghana, how can we spend $21 million just on the fight of armyworm? We the farmers want accountability. Because the armyworm is still around. NPP came to power, and now we the farmers have been rejected. They take decision on their own without consulting with the farmers.
Meanwhile, the minority in parliament also says the Ghanaian financial sector is in recession and is demanding action from government to stem the tide. We can hear from minority spokesperson on finance, Atufosin.
Instead of the improved living condition promised, Ghanaians have been ushered into an era of unprecedented and excruciating hardships. The imposition of economic pain that the president was forced to admit are occurring even as we see outcomes from prospects such as 1, recovery in global demand, prices and growth, and 2, increase in crude oil and gas output and prices. At the very moment, the nation is seeing increased output from 10 and Sankofa petroleum fields.
Joseph Opoku Gakpo joins us from that pre-budget seminar organized by the minority in parliament. So, Joseph, the minority have raised a number of concerns, including warning that the Ghanaian financial sector is in recession. Did they proffer any solutions at all at this pre-budget seminar?
And so they're asking government to pay contractors the necessary amounts that need to be paid to them so they can repay monies they owe savings and loans companies. The minority spokesperson on finance, Kisla Soforting, for example, says the financial sector saw negative growth throughout last year, including 11.23% negative growth last year. In the first quarter of this year, there was a situation of negative 25.5% growth in the financial sector. And he says that this is an indication of a recession in the sector that he's asking government to admit is a big deal and go ahead and help deal with it. So they are predicting that the budget that's coming to Parliament will bring hell and not the hope that President Akufo-Addo has promised. They've been asking questions about how come the government has not delivered on virtually all its promises, they say, including one village, one dam, and one district, one factory. And they say that fuel prices have been increased by about 21 times over the last 2 years, and it's brought unprecedented hardship onto Ghanaians. And they want a government to admit this problem and change course when it comes to the management of the economy.
So they're also warning of an imminent meltdown of the banking sector soon unless it takes immediate steps to pay debt owed contractors. What was the official statement from the West Africa Fiscal Institute? What have they been saying on this?
The head of monetary policy there, Al-Hassan Mohammed, says the banking situation was dealt with in an ad hoc manner and there will be consequences going forward because even the microfinance sector would not be able to survive unless urgent steps are taken to pump more money into that particular sector.
The government must ensure that all depositors' investments are paid in full. Again, the government should pay contractors immediately to enable them under their debt service obligations to CBG and other institutions, and also prevent the imminent collapse of MFIs, that's microfinance institutions, non-banking institutions, and servicing loans. If this is not done, the entire banking sector will experience a complete meltdown, and that will be an economic slack.
Now, in a separate development, an expert at the Finance Department, University of Ghana, is calling on government to do some work on the fuel prices, adding that prices at various fuel pump stations are on the high. The renowned lecturer, Dr. Patrick Esuming, mentioned that these increments have affected non-food items due to its transportation from farms to various destinations.
We've seen some adjustment on prices at the pump, and you expect that once petrol prices go up, you will see it translating into almost the price of almost everything. So I think that's a big chance. In the past, we've had a lot of inflation driven by depreciation of the currency. So we will expect that, you know, in September and October, where the city wasn't doing so well, you will expect that the next time the Statistical Service publishes the inflation data, we might see an uptick coming from that side. But, you know, historically, I think food inflation has been relatively low, is the non-food items. And I think that a big part of that has to do with petrol prices, and then also you accept that the effect, because the food item itself doesn't require petroleum.
So you have there Dr. Patrick Esuming, and it's our build-up to the budget statement reading on Thursday. What are your expectations? You can send them to us also. But away from that, barring any hitches, the President's ministerial nominees will in the near future be vetted, not by the Appointments Committee of Parliament, but by specific committees of the House. Speaker of Parliament, Professor Michael Quay, who reviewed this, said this will be implemented after MPs finish revising the standard orders of the House. He says the House is also considering proposals to restrict each MP to only one committee, as is done in other jurisdictions. Professor Michael Quay was addressing some selected journalists in Accra.
We are even revising our standing orders as I speak. Because, for example, if you go to Britain, one member, one committee. Here we have people on 3-4 committees. Then you become a jack of all trades. We are all agreed, both sides of the House, the leadership at least, that this is not good enough. It doesn't help us in doing a job well. In the revision of the standing orders, we are proposing that a member should become a member of only one committee and be specialized. So that when we talk about the Education Committee of Parliament, the chairman of that committee will also have the position of a chief whip in this House. And that is a very high office to occupy, with your own letterhead, with your own department, and doing the kind of work that people do in the U.S. Senate. When it comes to vetting, for example, it is my proposal And my leaders agree generally, and it's at the board level as well, there's an agreement on this, that, look, our constitution talks only about the prior approval of Parliament regarding to a minister. It doesn't tell you that there must be something like appointments committee. The appointments committee is a general committee. If you look at the US, where we learned the whole thing from, we have departed. If you are coming to be a foreign minister, the Foreign Affairs Committee will vet you. Specialized people, knowledgeable people who have made foreign affairs their career in this house. We want to build some of these things. These are things which members also need to perform efficiently.
You heard the Speaker of Parliament, Professor Michael Quay there. Meanwhile, member of the Appointments Committee, Muntaka Mubarak, says the leadership of the House has a separate proposal on the matter.
Those of us who are in leadership and on the special committee that was created, we have agreed that we needed to change the structure of the Appointments Committee to have 5 permanent members, and depending on where the minister is coming, we get the committee to join. Because practice have shown us that if you are to send to each committee, what it means that if the president decides to reach out, now the person will have to come back. So to avoid that, as we develop and improve on what we are doing, the appointment committee still stands because it's part of our standing orders, but review it said that it doesn't have that large number. It has a very small permanent members. Then when you are vetting health minister, members from the health committee comes to join. If you are vetting education minister, members from the education committee comes to join. Because you see, institutional memory and experience matters. So we do know our thinking, those of us on the special committee changing our standing orders, is that we shouldn't move from one extreme end to another extreme end, but we should move to the middle and then see how it works. Then maybe into the future we can see how we can further improve it.
Muntaka Mubarak is a member of the Appointments Committee. You heard there some youth of Dagbong in the northern region protesting earlier today in Tamale against the inclusion of Chiripone as part of the proposed northeast region. The youth, most of them clad in red, chanted and held placards with inscriptions such as Chiripone is Dagbong and Dagbong is united against dismembering Chiripone. Mubarak Osman is spokesperson for the youth.
Some few weeks ago, the Dagbong Traditional Council met in Yindi and they openly declared their opposition to the request by the Naire that Chiripone should be released to him so that they will include it into their proposed northeast region. This request was submitted to the Dagbong Traditional Council and it was openly rejected. But as you can see, plans are far advanced to forcefully include Chiripone into the proposed northeast. That is why the youth of Dagbong have come out in their numbers to inform the whole world that as an ethnic group, we are strongly against the inclusion, but we are not against the creation of Northeast region. And I am very sure that if this thing should continue, it's going to raise so much tension, and that is what we are trying to avoid.
Let's go on the line and speak to correspondent Hashmin Mohammed. Hashmin, has the demonstration ended, and what more can you report?
Well, the demonstration ended a while ago. It was a 2.5-hour walk to some principal streets of Tamale, and they finally converged at the Northern Regional Coordinating Council, where they presented their petition to the Northern Regional Minister, Salfu Said. Mubarak Osman, who read the petition, stated, among other things, that the Dagbong Traditional Council on 3 occasions tried to engage government on their position when it comes to the lands of Dagbong. And on these 3 occasions, government has turned them down. And all this put together, they believe that government has a grand agenda against the people of Dagbong. And he backed that decision by saying that when you go to the Gunjaland Traditional Council and then the Maputo Traditional Council, all of them are protecting their land, and they have carved the regions to suit their interests. And they wonder why, when it comes to Dagbong, that cannot be done. And they are saying that their position is that they will go against any group of individual or any group that will want to dismember the people of Dagbong.
But Hashmin, briefly, were there any reactions from authorities on this, on their demands?
Well, the Northern Regional Minister, Salfu Said, who received the petition, promised them that their grievances will be forwarded to the presidency and they will be hearing from the presidency with regards to their grievances.
You heard there Hashmin Mohammed, Northern Regional Correspondent. It's the midday news here on Joy 99.7 FM. When we return from this quick break, Teachers and Educational Workers Union refuses to back down on decision to maintain old representatives on KNUST Governing Council. We'll get details as the Asantehene prepares to inaugurate the new council. And later, how kindergarten pupils of a local school in the Ashanti region will not miss school because of this. Their teachers'
handshake. It has
handshake.
really inspired them. They always want to come to school. They feel happy. They are not bored. Even some of them, when they come and they don't have money. Madam, today my money is missing. I can give them and we talk. I give them food. So they are always free to come.
Thanks for staying with us. It's time for the latest from the world of sports. Benedict.
Yes, and sports now is all about the ladies, the Black Queens as well as the Black Ladies. And Saturday, God willing, I'm taking you to the stadium.
I will go.
Yes, you have to be there. Yourself, Araba, and all the ladies in the house. I'm taking all of you to the stadium to see the Black Queens. You have to support them. But, before the Black Queens, it is match day for the Black Maidens at this year's FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup in Uruguay. And Ghana later today will take on the host in their first group game. Coach Evans Adote is looking forward to a positive start to their campaign.
This is Ghana's sixth appearance in the tournament. Well, in the first place, I would say we won bronze 2012, 2014 in Costa Rica. We got to the knockout stage. That was the quarterfinal stage. We were edged out. We followed up to 2016 in Jordan. We were edged out in the quarterfinals edition. This time round, Ghana is coming to stay until we play in the finals. That is my message.
So that's coach of the Black Maidens team, Evans Adote, and definitely will be counting on his skipper Mukarama Abdullahi, who emerged as the top scorer in the African qualifiers to bang in the goals. Abdullahi says she's ready and believes that they will make a winning start.
See, I don't know anything about them, so I don't have any fear, and I'll just make steady and the whole team so that we will stay out of defeat. Losing against Cameroon was just something surprising to me because we were not expecting to lose against them, but it's a game. In it, either you lose or you win. So losing against Cameroon was so they shouldn't be so happy because coming back from the loss, we have go through our mistakes and solve our problems. So we are coming with full hope. So they shouldn't be so happy.
All right, so that game is at 10 p.m. 10 p.m. MFI. You have to stay awake and watch. Then Saturday we'll go to the stadium as well.
There's nothing else I'll be doing. Benedict Owusu with the latest from the world of sports. But let's stay on women's football because girls involved in sporting activities are generally perceived as academically weak, lacking the brain to do things that are intellectually demanding. In our build-up to the 2018 Africa Women's Cup of Nations this week, Joy Sports Gary Al-Smith speaks to a girls' football coach and some young girls about this perception. The responses are quite intriguing. There's more in the following excerpt of the All to Play For hotline documentary brought to you by UNICEF.
Since I started, I've seen that some families who wouldn't allow their girls to join any football club have now released their girls to join my club and are playing and so are getting all the benefits that a girl should get in football, like health-wise, exposure, all the advantages you can think of.
The coach speaks of the Zongo communities he operates from, and like he says, Mamobi and Nima are deprived areas where generally attention to teenage girls is not the best. In addition to teaching these young ones the tactical aspects of the game of football, Ambrose also acts as a peer educator and advisor. For these young girls, growing up in a Zongo community where the worth of girls is calculated in terms of domestic chores and how many children they can have, taking part in physical activity can't be the last thing on their minds. Bilkis grew up in Nima and still lives there.
In my community, for instance, if a young girl plays soccer, they tell her, you cry, the ball that you are playing, what do you get from it? Like, we the guys who even play, we don't even get something better out of it. So just stop and focus and get a man to marry and move on with your life.
Clearly, the environment is stifling, and with myths about why girls should be discouraged from doing sports abounding, there's never been a greater need for education as there is now. Coach Ambrose again.
There is this perception out there that girls who play football find difficulties when they want to give birth, and it is totally the opposite. It rather makes giving birth easy, scientifically. And apart from that, recently we have seen our girls going out there to the gym to train because they want to keep themselves in shape and all that. Our girls don't need to pay to do this. They're already on their foot, they're already training. So, I mean, this is a benefit for sport that people didn't know and now are knowing. So in terms of building their body, it is the number one.
Girls also have all to play for. Now let's head to the KNUST campus because there's a lot happening there today. The University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, and the Teachers and Educational Workers Union, TEWO, have refused to change their representatives on the KNUST Governing Council despite government's insistence new representatives should be nominated. It comes as Chancellor of the KNUST, Otumfuo Osei II, is expected to just about formally name the members of the KNUST's Governing Council. The school has been closed down over the past 3 weeks following disagreement between its management and students, resulting in rioting on the campus that saw properties costing millions of Ghana cedis destroyed. Correspondent Kwesi Deborah chronicles events since the shutdown of the school.
Call it a coup d'etat. Just after the fracas that led to the devastation of 1.6 million worth of property, the university was closed down. In less than 24 hours, the then governing council was dissolved and replaced with an interim body whose membership included SRC President Kevin Sarr, who was on the old council. Agitation erupted, especially from Alumni Global, University Teachers Association of Ghana, and the Teachers and Education Workers Union over exclusion of their members. Government responded by restoring UTAG and TEWO representation, while the National Council for Tertiary Education asked Vice-Chancellor Kwesi Obridanso to step aside. Pro-Vice-Chancellor Professor Retta Dixon was to take over in acting capacity. The union leaders threatened a strike.
And the strike indeed happened, and then there's a lot happening up until today. And as Otumfuo Osei II prepares to name the new governing council, Kwesi Deborah joins us live from where the ceremony is being taken place. And Kwesi, who are the members of this newly constituted council? Have you been able to pick up information?
Yes, MFA, the members we're talking about here hasn't changed. That's talking about the side of the union members. But we have the council, the one which was chosen by government, that's Nana Penteni. You have the president of the Ghana Institute of Engineers, and also Ms. Hagar. They are all present. So you haven't four nominees from the government side, but you haven't, the union members haven't changed. So the 15, only 4 has changed. The rest are intact, MFA.
But do we know if the old members will also be inducted as well as the new members?
No, according to the acts, the old members are in. It's only the new members who were sworn in. So the old members were asked not to undergo such a process.
So have the old members been accepted? Because we know that the government had insisted that the old members should be replaced.
Yes, they are now there. They are intact. None has changed.
Well, and you've also been interacting with the education minister saying that the SRC should be prepared to bear the consequences of their action. What exactly has he been saying?
Yes, he says he cannot fathom the extent of distractions, and he thinks that those things which have gone on do not re-merit, as in whether he talks about the university administration, they have gone wrong. He thinks that the appropriate processes should have been followed and not to the extent of distraction. So he told the SRC president, who is also part of the newly constituted council, that they're going to bear the cost, and also ask the new council that they are also supposed to at least live up to their responsibility.
Okay, so Kwesi, do we know when school is reopening?
No, according to the chancellor, that's Santehim Osei II, they are now going to sit and discuss it. So, but we heard initially that it's going to be on Monday.
Kwesi Deborah there, but just before we go, for many little children, the motivation for going to school would mostly be the nice jollof rice served during break time. But this is different. Nancy Emefa Jadosi has more.
I really love children and I always want to inspire them, so that's why I did the video.
Why was this the only means for you to do this?
Because this one, it has a lot of fun and it uses energy, so that one inspired me for me to teach them.
What difference have you been able to make in the life of these pupils?
Okay, it has really inspired them. They always want to come to school. They feel happy. They are not bored, but they are not in my class again, so I'm not teaching the ones in my class.
Why?
They've moved to the next class.
Okay, so that means that you have a new batch of pupils in your class.
Yes,
and have you started teaching them?
Yeah, I've started teaching about 8 of them.
How many are they?
40.
So wait, I'm curious. Like, you've been able to teach 8 out of 40. Yes. And how do you develop all these styles?
It comes in my mind. So whenever it comes, I just call a child and I'll just do it with him or her, and then I'll just have it.
Has it gotten to that point where some of these students are able to come to you and tell you about their problems and tell you things on their minds?
Yeah, they do come. Even some of them, when they come and they don't have money. Madam, today my money is missing. I can give them and we talk. I give them food. So they are always free to come.
Educhumwa Asare is a teacher there. Who would you want to go to school when you have a fun teacher like that? That's it for the midday news here on Joy 99.7 FM. There's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. I am MF Apal. Thanks so much for your company.